Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Juliana Kariko and I'm so happy that you're watching this video. Today, I want to talk about something I have been learning, and in that process of learning it and trying to incorporate the lessons into my life, I published a book. I wrote a book, a short book, and it's available now as an ebook. And the book is The Art of Being Unavailable. And that is exactly what I want us to talk about today. And just to set the motion, I'm going to read a section of the book for you guys. And I hope that you hear, you get something from it. There comes a time when you stop apologizing for resting and start protecting your peace. When you stop proving your worth through constant motion and start realizing that rest is not laziness, it's strategy. The world won't collapse when you take a pause. In fact, it often rearranges itself better when you do. You teach people how to respect you not by your words, but by how you live on your terms. When you stop answering every call, stop saying yes to what drains you, and start saying yes to what builds you, that's when you find freedom. Begin guarding your time like treasure. Turn down unnecessary commitments, cut down the endless social media scroll that steals your focus, and finally complete that masterpiece, the one that's been sitting quietly in your heart, waiting for your attention. Because your availability, or rather, your unavailability, could just give birth to your legacy. For too long, many of us have equated constant presence with purpose, being available for everyone all the time as proof of love, loyalty, or productivity. But the truth is, you can pour from an empty cup. Your energy, time, and peace are finite resources, and learning to get them is an act of wisdom, not selfishness. When you begin to live intentionally, you stop apologizing for resting and start prioritizing your health. You stop chasing approval and start protecting alignment. The world won't collapse when you take a break. The people who truly value you will adjust, and perhaps in your quiet absence, they'll even learn to appreciate your presence more deeply. So, I believe that in life and the way we live, we could learn a concept from something as simple as a tape measure. This one is a 5-meter tape measure, and that means you can only pull a maximum of 5 meters. That is about 16 feet. I won't put the whole thing, but you get what I mean. So you can only measure 5 meters with this tape measure. If you want to measure 100 meters, you might need to go at it 20 times or get another that is 100 meters wide. And at this season of my life where I just got into career, it's been 3 years, but 3 years is just beginning. And in this season is when you want to create a good impression with your employer. You want to do more, to be recognized, to be seen, so that you can be able to grow. And in this season, you might get. I got to a point where I seem to always be saying yes. If a superior of mine came to me and they wanted help with something, I was quick to say yes. I didn't think about when will I get time to do that. I just thought this is a good opportunity for them to see me as a good employee, as a good team member, and I would exert myself over and over again. I would find myself doing work way beyond my working hours, carrying work home that did not have a reflection on myself, especially when it came to measuring of my KPIs and all that. And somehow I kept saying yes. Somehow I kept pushing myself. Even sometimes I got to a point where I would ask for more to do. And it's not a bad thing necessarily. I'm not saying that don't go the extra mile. Please go the extra mile if it makes sense. But you can only go so far. You can only stretch yourself so far. And so it got to a point where I realized now, just putting so much on my plate and very little is coming back to me. Recognition, it could be enough. And when I started seeing that I did not get that, then I realized, damn, I fell into a trap I put for myself, because I've come to learn that the first time you do something, people are very happy. The second time, they're very happy. But when you get to the third, fourth time, it stops being something you're doing out of your willingness, and it becomes expected of you. You start being held accountable for things you were just helping them to do. And so I got to a point and I was so angry because the system was failing me. And I had to remind myself that I don't have to be the best employee. It doesn't add anything. At least it has not. So I remember myself, I don't have to be the best. If I can do something, I'm going to say I won't do it. As long as I am not breaching my contract, I decided no, I can't. And even though I'm not able to say no at that moment, when the courage comes to me again at another time, I say it. So started to stand up for myself. And just to point out, this book I wrote and the lessons I'm trying to put in my life, The Art of Being Unavailable, is not about being cold, being, how do you say it? Being selfish and being rude. No. It's just about creating boundaries. And I have come to learn that boundaries are not walls. No, I want to redefine that. Boundaries are actually doors to which you are the one that has the lock. So you open the door to what and who you want to come in. You close it to who and what you don't want to come in. So boundaries are not walls. For me, now I am taking them as doors to which I hold the lock. But also in this journey, there's one thing I'm also learning. It's to not be quick to answer, to pause, to think about how that will play out, how it will affect me, how it will affect my time, how it will affect my energy. Is asking simple questions such as, how will I feel after doing this? Because I got to a point where, especially at work, because of saying yes too much and not having enough time for myself, I started to complain. I started to be toxic, for lack of a better way of saying it, because the moment you start complaining, you're complaining to your colleagues, you're complaining to your managers, then you start becoming a toxic employee. So yeah, now I pause, and sometimes I will pause but still give a yes when I want to say no, or a no when I want to say yes. And I have learned to be humble enough to later just come to realization of exactly what I want, and I will go back to the person and pass across the message. If I said yes and I want to say no, I do that. I am learning to be humble enough and to be easy in how I respond and how I say things. So, for this ebook, it's been like a guide for me. It's also been healing for me, because as I was writing it, researching it, and just editing the whole thing, I kept reminding myself that it's okay for me to choose me. It's okay for me to want more for myself. It's okay for me to take time for myself. It's okay to say no. It's okay to disappoint others, and it's okay to lock doors away from things and people that you don't want into your sphere uh, of of life. If their energy is wrong, if they're pushing you to the wall, it's okay to push back, slow and professionally, but it's okay to say no and to be okay with that. To choose yourself is good. You don't necessarily have to be selfless all the time. Sometimes you gotta be selfish with your time, especially with your peace and with your energy. And so This book, it's an ebook. It's less than 60 pages of reading, and I believe that when you read this book, you will be able to, how do I say it? It will be able to speak to you, especially if you're overwhelmed, if you feel unseen, or if you feel that you're stretched too thin. It will help you to recalibrate how you respond to life, how you respond to people, how you respond to things around you. And so you I hope that through this book you will be able to learn to be a little selfish with your time and to reclaim your peace, your time, and your energy. And you can find the book on Seller. I'll share all the links in the description. You can find it on Seller, you can find it on Gumroad, on Payhip, as well as on Amazon KDP as an ebook and as a paperback. So you, and if you got my contact and all that feels like a lot of struggle, you can just send me the cash and I will send you the PDF. So so when we meet next time, please call me author. I know. But so, oh, thank you so much. I'm planning to really post more, especially on this channel, to do more, to create more content, to explore this side of me of being creative and just creating content that helps you to or rather encourages you to be intentional, to build your faith, your personal life, your professional life, and to live a life that you love and to create a life that you dream of. Because I believe we all deserve to live a life we want, and we all deserve a life of our dreams. So I hope that even as you go read the book, that you remember to be you, to do you, and to always do your best. Until next time, bye. Thank you for supporting me as you consider to buy, as you buy it. Thank you for supporting me and feel appreciated.